Right now is sort of a moment of calm before things get pretty hectic in here. People are just starting to filter in, and that is why right now is the best time to sort of give you a sneak peek of what it's really like inside, behind the scenes, and sort of show what happens, what these conventions are all about. We've decided to start right here on the floor beside a very important post, and we're going to, my wonderful cameraman Jonathan Austin, he's going to back up and give you, show you. This is where all of the delegates from New York State are going to be congregating all around here. And when it's time to actually do, well, it's more of a ceremonial process now, the roll call, we will see the delegates from New York. They'll stand up here, they'll stand in front of the microphone, and they will pledge their delegates to Kamala Harris, who of course is the new nominee for the Democratic Party. Technically, the formal process already took place, but the spectacle and the moment, they're still going to continue to do it here at the DNC because it's something that a lot of the delegates really look forward to. It's a way that they get to participate in this process, and it's a big spectacle. Remember, these conventions, really, they're a big 4-day commercial for a political party. The Republicans went last month, and now it's time for the Democrats. So we're going to sort of mingle our way around here, and I'm going to show you a little bit more. Some of the delegates from different states are starting to arrive, and we're going to have a little chat with a woman who's from Ohio. So come with us. We're going to go along over here. Oh, pardon us. Don't mind us here. Katie, could we get you to come on down and join us down here for... So it's kind of really a relaxed conversational sort of tone. Once you're down here on the floor, you can sort of just mingle and chat with people. This is where the delegation from Ohio is going to be coming. Come on over. What's your name? What's your name?
Helen Sheehan.
And where are you? And you're from Ohio?
Shaker Heights, Ohio. Describe
what it's been like here so far at the DNC.
The emotions are palpable. It's exciting. It's a new momentum, and we're really, everybody that I've been with from our delegation has been super excited and ready to roll and ready to win.
Can we do a little examination of the hat? Can you describe it for us? Tell us what's going on here.
So a lot of these pins are from friends of mine. The Hubert Humphrey one from '68. Some of them legal women voters. I was a former president of our local chapter. Some of the campaigns that I've worked on throughout the years. My Congresswoman, Shontel Brown, who's here today, and one of my most important ones that I am Roe.
So, and so you know what? Just to show you that we're live, I'm not allowed to stand up on that step. So I'm going to say thank you for your time. And we're going to move our way over here. Come along with us. We'll show you more behind the scenes. We're from Canada. So we're going to be through here. You can see there's a lot of different news agencies that are having these sort of conversations. We're going to make our way through here. And then why don't we just keep on going and see what we can see. Now, just beyond here, we can see this is sort of where some of the VIPs from the Democratic Party are going to be coming out. And this is where some of the media interviews are taking place, so it gets a little more crowded. Come along. We're still going to go through here. Pardon us. Don't mind us. And as we get closer, you'll be able to start to see where some of the VIPs are going to be sitting. We're going to just sneak this way up here. I'm going to make sure that Johnny's okay. All good there. Got the delegation from the state of Maryland, and we've got more of sort of the delegations. Every state has its own little area, and as we get closer and closer to showtime, it's actually going to get more and more crowded. And actually, this is Randy Weingarten, who's the head of the Teachers and Nurses Union. We're live right now on Canadian television. We caught up with you the other day. Yeah, well,
how are you?
Good. We're live right now.
It's amazing.
Can you describe, what the mood is like here?
The mood is really electric and exciting, and people are excited because, we're going to make history in the next 4 days. Today is a passing the torch day. Today is the day by having the President of the United States talk about what he's done, what he's tried to accomplish. There will be a lot of love for him, and I suspect what he's going to do is make a real impassioned case for the Vice President. And then you're going to have Hillary Clinton, without whom the Vice President would not be in this situation and this chance to become Madam President. So today is a day of a lot of history and probably a lot of tears, but a lot of excitement about what the future can bring.
And really quickly, if I can just ask one more question, what do you make of Joe Biden's decision to pass the torch, to step aside and then endorse Kamala Harris?
Well, I think that is a sign of an amazing patriot, because what happened was he got convinced that if he really truly wanted to save democracy, he was going to relinquish the run for presidency, stay as president because he's been a fabulous president, but relinquish the run and pass the torch. That is a true patriot. That's someone who has said, I really mean it when I say that democracy is more important than my personal aspirations.
Thank you very much for your time today. We appreciate you. Thank you. So people will be making their way into the arena, and we'll see people like Randy Weingarten, who is the head of the Teachers and Nurses Union, the Federal Teachers and Nurses Union. The labor movement, many leaders within the labor movement are expected to be taking part in what's going on here. Joe Biden spent a significant portion of his run in 2020 as well as his presidency really trying to improve life for the labor movement and really trying to secure that vote heading forward. So we're going to keep going. So over here, this is where the delegation from Maryland is going to be gathering and is starting to already gather now. And we could see some lawmakers as well as, we could see some lawmakers start to make their way in here as well. Now we're getting very close to this stage area. The stage area has been cordoned off. Just a short time ago, we actually saw President Joe Biden come out and do his sound check, as well as First Lady Jill Biden do the sound check. They are going to be speaking tonight along with Hillary Clinton, as we just heard in that conversation right there. Really the theme of tonight, this first night, is going to be, I've heard it phrased as a love letter to Joe Biden, sort of a thank you for passing the torch and sort of giving his blessing to the next generation of Democratic leadership. So expect to hear a lot about that tonight. So come on, let's keep going. We're going to come on in this way. We're going to do sort of the front row walk right along here. Now, right up here is where all of the main sort of speeches are going to be taking place. We've got some of the press and the VIPs that are going to be sort of coming in and out of that area. Just a short time ago, we actually saw the housekeeping crew out there vacuuming. So everyone is making sure every little detail is taken care of before the main show. So Johnny, let's keep going, let's keep walking and see, maybe we'll run into someone we know or show people what it's like behind the scenes. So it's kind of busy, but it's going to be way, way busier a little bit later. So delegates who are getting front row seats have already secured their seats. We're a live news crew from Canada. We're broadcasting live right now. Any way I could chat with one of you guys about how, did you guys have to wait to get these tickets, or how did you get these good seats? You just got here? Got here early? Okay. Okay. How long did you have to wait? Did you have to wait a long time to get here? Or was it a long wait?
To get through security actually wasn't long enough.
So you just got here and just happened to get here first?
Yeah. We just walked.
Oh.
We walked about a 3/4 of a mile
and then, okay, that's a pretty easy process to get front row seat. Well, once you've done security, which is all part of the process.
As long as you're willing to, sweat a little bit.
You come on in and get the front seats. Okay, so that's how you get the front seats. Okay, thanks for chatting with us. We appreciate it. Thank you. And so, so I guess you don't really have to wait that long to get those front row seats. All right, let's keep going this way. We'll go to the other side of the stage to see what else we can see over here. So again, we've got delegates from Wisconsin, Tennessee, North Carolina, Idaho. That'll be really largely the big show moment when all of the delegates will pledge their support to Kamala Harris. But again, technically that already happened. They did an online roll call to make sure that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz would be on the ballots in Ohio. It was a little bit of a technical thing to make sure that was going to happen. The delegates did the formal pledge already, so that's happened. And so it's going to be more of a show. So come on over this way. Let's keep going. Come on over here. Oh, and this is Senator Raphael Warnock right over here. I don't know if we're... Senator.
We have to keep it moving.
Okay, so the senator is going to keep on going. That's Senator Raphael Warnock. He actually was elected to the Senate, first elected to the Senate in the 2020 runoff. Remember, after the 2020 election, before all of the chaos around election fraud and election lies, in between that period, it was January 5th, 2021 was the date of the Senate runoff election in Georgia. It was the day before the Capitol attack. And it was Senator Warnock and Senator John Ossoff who actually flipped the Senate in control of the Democrats after they both won very, very, very hard-fought victories in a very, very tight election race. And there were questions about whether Donald Trump, after losing the 2020 election, whether he was hurting or helping Republicans in that race because he talked so much about election fraud. Some of the base of Donald Trump supporters, there was concern that they weren't actually going to show up because they thought, what's the point? So that's Senator Warnock, who did not want to chat with us, but sometimes that happens. People just don't want to chat with us. It's all good. So let's keep going along here and make our way through the maze of journalists. We've got Oklahoma, we've got Virginia and West Virginia. We'll make our way through here. So this looks like it's going to be another sort of VIP sort of setup area. Oh, this might be the influencer area. There's going to be a dedicated space where influencers are going to have a space to create content, because influencers are a huge part of this election campaign. At least they were for the Biden administration. They were bringing people in to try and, share their talking points, their messages as part of their whole election campaign strategy. Okay, let's keep on going because we're holding up the line. We're very polite Canadians. So we've got Nevada, Democrats Abroad. Oh, Democrats Abroad has a Canadian connection, by the way. And we keep blocking you. Please pass us. I am so sorry.
You're fine.
Democrats, it's so Canadian. We're always apologizing for being in the way. Democrats Abroad, we can sort of point to it up there. There are a number of people who live in Canada who are associated with Democrats Abroad. They help organize Democrats who live out of the United States to make sure that they get to participate in the voting process and cast their ballots. So that's where they are up there. Okay, let's keep going. Making our way to the opposite end of the arena. Pardon us, don't mind us, pardon us. And we've got South Carolina, Kansas, Connecticut, Puerto Rico, American Samoa. Oh, Senator Klobuchar. Sorry. We're live broadcasting live right now in Canada. We're doing a walk and talk, and so we happen to run into Senator Klobuchar, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, CBC News. Could we just quickly ask a quick question?
Just about what we're excited.
Sure, Senator Klobuchar. I'm so sorry. We're broadcasting. We're Canadian broadcasters. Oh yes, absolutely. Sorry. I don't want to interrupt that. I know that you know a lot about Canada-U.S. issues, a part of the Canada-U.S.
the Canadian-American Interparliamentarian Group, yes.
You do, and so we've covered a number of events with you talking about Canada-U.S. trade, but my question to you is, describe what it's been like here so far and what you're expecting.
Well, it's super positive. As you can see, all the delegates are just completely excited and are ready to go. And I think one of the most interesting things from a Canada perspective is the fact that Kamala Harris has spent time in Canada.
She has.
And Tim Walz is in a border state, just led a trade mission to Canada. And I have many connections there too. So I'm really excited. We already have great relationships. I saw the Prime Minister was with the ambassador in Canada only in America just a few months ago and met with him in Washington. So I think you're going to see a lot of love between the two countries, and that's positive.
Thank you so much for chatting with us. Okay. I'm not going to keep you because we don't want to keep people. Okay, come on. So that's Senator Amy Klobuchar. She ran for president in 2020, was unsuccessful, did stronger than a lot of people had actually expected, and really boosted her profile on the American, political stage. And so she is a huge part of the Canada-U.S. sort of trade relationship when it comes to Canadian lawmakers working with American lawmakers. She deals with a lot of those technical trade issues, and especially around NAFTA and when it comes to other trade irritants in that relationship. And so that's sort of a key thing that Canadian diplomats who are here at this convention, they will be keeping a close eye on. They want to make sure that the relationship between Canadian lawmakers and American lawmakers sort of runs smoothly as things continue, whichever way the election turns out. Canadian diplomats were also at the Republican National Convention trying to make sure that they remain connected to members of Donald Trump's inner circle should there be a change in power. Well, there is going to be a change in power. It's either going to be a Kamala Harris or it's going to be a Donald Trump. So they want to just make sure that those relationships remain stable and that there aren't any new trade irritants that pop up, and so that Canada isn't caught off guard. Canada felt it was caught off guard back in 2016 because Donald Trump had largely campaigned on wanting to rip up trade deals. And of course, we did see that renegotiation of NAFTA back in that time frame. So, okay, I'll stop talking about trade. I talk about trade too much. Okay, let's keep going. Maybe we'll run into other people that we know, and maybe we won't. So we got South Carolina, we got Kansas, and we've got U.S. Virgin Islands and Georgia. And we'll keep on sneaking back here. And so that's pretty much it when it comes to what it looks like on the floor here at the convention site. Now, if we can, my wonderful colleague Jonathan. Sorry, I won't stand there, I promise.
Thank you. I was coming over here to tell the pretty young ladies.
Oh, thank you.
I was just going to have them arrest.
Arrest him. I'll get out there.
That's because you're with her. That was
Sorry, no. So you want to know what the vibe is like here? That's what the vibe is like here. Asking people to politely not stand on a step so that they don't get hurt. One thing I want to point to is if you look a little bit up, you'll start to see some of the U.S. news outlets. They have their setups, their sets here in the convention center over there. Our setup is a little high up, so we're not going to worry about that one. It's on the other side and it's a little high up. So a lot of the foreign press is up in the nosebleed sections here at the United Center. But that's pretty standard. That's pretty normal for these kinds of things. And so at this point, I hope you enjoyed our behind-the-scenes tour of what it's like at the Democratic National Convention. Perhaps we'll do another one of these in the days to come. Perhaps we'll go to Dem-palooza and see people getting their Kamala Harris manicures. But for now, I think we will sign off and send it back to you, or send it back to whatever we send it back to in this brand new world of TikTok and YouTube and all of these great social media channels. So thanks for joining us. I'm Katie Simpson with CBC News, a Washington correspondent here in Chicago at the Democratic National Convention.